Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Vin Diesel's Fast and Furious 11 promises indicate a bold franchise decision is going to age poorly. Vin Diesel has never shied away from making Fast and Furious feel larger than life. From skydiving cars to dragging massive safes through city streets, the franchise has repeatedly pushed the limits of logic, physics, and occasionally, good storytelling. But with Fast and Furious 11 looming on the horizon, reportedly the final chapter in the main saga, Vin Diesel's promises suggest the series is about to make a bold move that could ultimately taint its legacy, a high-octane legacy, at risk. The Fast saga, which started with humble street racing roots in 2001's The Fast and the Furious, has exploded into a billion-dollar global juggernaut. It's been about family, yes, but also about increasingly wild, over-the-top stunts and globe-trotting espionage missions. Diesel, who plays Dominic Toretto and serves as producer, has been the vocal face of the franchise, often teasing fans with grand ideas and cliffhanger promises. Now, with Fast 11, Diesel is doubling down. In recent interviews and social media teasers, he's hinted that the final film will be the most emotional and explosive yet, promising closure unlike anything we've seen before and claiming the franchise will end with cinematic poetry. Bold words, but they may set the franchise up for failure. What is Diesel really promising? Let's break down what Diesel has teased so far. A sprawling global finale that ties together every major character arc. The return of legacy characters, possibly including some presumed dead fan favorites. A high-stakes emotional payoff that mirrors endgame-level finality. A potential spin-off springboard that redefines the future of the franchise. On paper, it sounds thrilling, but it's precisely this attempt to elevate Fast 11 into an epic, almost mythological goodbye that might cause the film to age poorly. Why? Because it's not just aiming to be a fun action film, it's trying to become a cultural touchstone. And Fast and Furious has never really been built for that kind of gravity. That overpromise, underdeliver trap franchises that try to go out with a bang often struggle under the weight of expectation. Game of Thrones? Anyone? When you hype something as the end of an era, you risk alienating fans who have grown attached to a certain tone or style. The Fast movies have always lived in their own ridiculous but enjoyable sandbox, attempting to shift gears into deep emotional territory, complete with dramatic deaths, legacy tributes, and life-changing consequences, could come off as forced. Even Fast X, the most recent installment, started down this path. The film ended on a massive cliffhanger involving the possible deaths of key characters, including Dom and his son. Diesel wants us to believe these stakes matter, but fans are skeptical. After all, this is a franchise where characters have returned from the dead multiple times, and where villains become allies every other movie. So why should we believe any of this finality now? Emotion versus escapism. Let's be honest, people don't go to Fast and Furious movies for Shakespearean drama. They go for nitrous-fueled chases, quippy one-liners, and seeing Dom defy physics in a muscle car. Trying to wrap all that in a serious, emotional bow could feel like the franchise has forgotten what made it special. Think about Furious 7, the franchise's emotional peak, which honored the late Paul Walker with a surprisingly touching farewell. That worked because it was grounded in real loss. But trying to manufacture that kind of moment again, years later, with less authentic stakes, that risks ringing hollow. The problem with expanding to for another red flag is Diesel's promise that Fast 11 will serve as a bridge to spin-offs and future stories. That inherently weakens the idea of finality. If this is truly the end, why already tease more? It's the same mistake many franchises make, trying to have it both ways. They want to end with a bang and plant seeds for the future. That rarely works without diluting the impact. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has already faced this dilemma: too much content, too fast, with diminishing returns. Fast and Furious could follow the same path, a style that may not age well over the past few films. The franchise has leaned into absurdity, sending characters to space, fighting superhuman villains, and staging stunts that feel more cartoon than cinema. While fans might enjoy it now, there's a real risk that these choices won't hold up in a few years. The early Fast movies had a gritty street-level charm, but the later films feel more like a parody of themselves. If Fast 11 continues on that path while asking audiences to take its plot and emotional beats seriously, it could age like milk. What Diesel should do instead? If Diesel and the creative team want Fast 11 to stand the test of time, the best move might be to lean into what made the franchise beloved in the first place. character-driven moments that are earned, not overly melodramatic. Stunts grounded in thrill, not just CGI spectacle. A satisfying conclusion that prioritizes closure over franchise building. Sure, give fans their epic moments, but keep it in the tone and style the series built its name on. Trying to transform Fast and Furious into a prestige drama or high-art saga in its final hour could backfire spectacularly. Final lap or future flop. Vin Diesel's ambitions for Fast and Furious 11 are clear, and to be fair, it's commendable that he wants the series to go out with impact. But ambition isn't always what a franchise needs, especially one that's built on the joyride of spectacle and simplicity. By promising the moon, Diesel risks setting the franchise up for disappointment. If Fast 11 can't balance emotion with entertainment, and if it fails to truly stick the landing, it may not be remembered as a triumphant farewell but as a tone-deaf misstep that tried too hard to be something it was never meant to be.